around to watch for the moves. They're not hard to find. Strong arm tactics so loud, only themselves in mind. Every player has dreams of making Orca fame. They'll live on in the minds of those who get in their way. Orcas all say, don't come for me. Mid-merge boots, they're so vain. As we set up the podcast webcam, the pod is here to talk Orca game. Orca King CK with delusions of fame. In this LRG world, he's the apex predator. Dani and Jules in tow, always ready to go. Now it's time for the show. They're the apex predators.
Hello and welcome to the Orca Pod, the apex predators of Australian Survivor LRG podcasting. Here we are recapping the excellent episode 3 of the fantastic Uncharted Waters. Melbourne Survivor absolutely hitting out of the park with this incredible season. Another brilliant episode. Looking to get into all the action. For those that are here live, glad to have you. Comment away. We actually, for the first time, since we started the coverage of the season, have all 4 of the Orcas that are co-hosting this season live. So I'll use this little function that lets your comments appear live because it won't block one of us for once with the layout that I've set up. So go nuts in the comments, people that are here. We want to hear what you have to say. Of course, later on, we'll be chatting with the sad Byron. It was sad that it was booted. He was sad to be booted. We'll talk about all that and more, as well as TWIOLSH, where John, I believe, my casting co-director for this season, will be taking me on to see who is the TWIOLSH champion for this week. Without further ado, let me bring in my fantastic Orca co-hosts here to bring all the lowdown on this episode. Bringing in first, the one, the only, the bounty hunter, Marc. Welcome.
Hello. So good to be here once again, CK.
It's great to have you here. Marc's on the clock. He's got a plane to catch, but he will still be here to give you all of his hot takes on the episode. Bringing in next, all the way live from another country on a laptop with this mail making, so give us a moment for technical difficulties. It doesn't, is the Orca from Canberra versus the world. Welcome, Loz.
Hi. That's working.
I can see you.
Is that working?
It's all good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
Okay,
Can you see
all
us?
right. I think we're okay. Yes, yeah, I can. It was, I don't know, I couldn't watch our opening credits. It said it was blocked.
It's a controversial video, the opening credits.
Apparently in Papua New Guinea.
Grave concerns about the video. Maybe the copyright infringement is too much for concern. And bringing in the one, the only, the Orca of Backyard 4, bringing in Josh O'Brien. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. I love how I always
bring up this
get
little
the
comments.
name drop. What's that about? But that's okay. Hi.
You need to be louder, Josh. I can't believe I've ever said this in my life, but you need to be louder.
Sorry.
Turn your mic up and let's get on with the program. What an episode. We like to start at the top. We're coming in from a very straightforward tribal council where the greatest player of the season, sadly, Hannah, was voted out. And the pink tribe, the Nassau tribe, come in feeling pretty chuffed with their unity. They've got some crappy rice that they're in love with. As I've told you, food is amazing. Loz, what did you feel about the pink coming tribe? They felt united. Did you feel they actually were?
I think they were united in wanting to keep a particular individual on side and wanting to go with that. And so I think, yes, from the perspective of wanting to make sure that Dani did what she wanted to do and that they wanted to make sure they were working with her, I think, yes, they were united. What that means, moving forward, when we come to a tribe swap and some of them no longer have Dani giving them direction, how united they will be is anybody's guess.
Marc, are all these people way too dependent upon Dani for their own game strategy?
I mean, they robbed us of the Queen Hannah, so I was kind of hoping they'd choke on that crusty rice, but we can't all get what we want. Yeah, no, I think danger. I don't know. Like, the numbers are getting so fine. I think these people might really struggle if the numbers don't align for them when they mix with Tortuga.
Well, that's the critical thing, and we know that they lose this episode, so they're down in numbers. Do you feel, Josh, that there are some players in this group that are going to find their own footing once they're not hamstrung by the chokehold that Dani has on this group of people, or are they all going to be lost sheep without their shepherd?
Yeah, I think a couple of them could find their own footing, but I think a few of them are going to be, lost babes in the woods with no leader, definitely. Some of them don't know what the hell they're doing.
Great.
What do we think about Dani? Let's talk a bit about Dani here before we get into the actual episode. She started off in multiple alliances in the first episode, but the two that were sort of like, you had Jules, who was on the outs, not in many alliances, only really had an alliance with Chris. Yet it seems that by this episode, those three are the decision makers. How has Jules clawed her way from the bottom to the top? What do you think, Loz?
I don't know that Jules actually did a lot to get herself from the bottom to the top. I think Dani got Jules from the bottom to the top, because this vote that we're going to get to, I still thought that if Dani hadn't been pushing to keep Jules and ditch Byron, that could very easily, the whole tribe could have switched on Jules again. So I don't know that Jules is at the top as much as she's got the protection of Dani, and at the moment, that's the only thing that matters.
What do we think, though, Josh, about a person who's this powerful in the game? If you're not Dani, you're not Jules, you're Byron, you're Adam, you're Shelley, and you had this group, and now Dani's just pushing for someone to stay who was not in your group, and actually at the expense of someone who was supposed to be in your group, and everyone's just going along with that. And it's not like Byron's done anything that's particularly offensive that means like, oh, well, he's got to go now, we've got to turn on him. How would you feel about the dynamics here? They've sort of become out of everyone's control, but Dani's only one person. Amazing, but only one person.
Yeah, well, I think, wasn't it Byron and Shelley, like they mentioned that on Uncharted Waters, like, oh, Dani, maybe it was in a confessional, but I'm pretty sure Shelley mentioned it. And yeah, it does seem like Dani is just driving the votes, and everybody wants to work with her, is going with what she's saying, and they're sort of questioning it, like, why are we doing that? But then they can't help go along with it anyway. I think, Dani is definitely in the driver's seat. And I think Byron, Adam and Shelley in this episode, definitely, like, the time they were sort of on like like an hourglass ticking down. And I think they should have maybe made a move or something. And I think maybe it's too late now. And if a swap comes, I think, they might be a bit lost without Dani.
I just think it comes down to voice, right? And Dani has what's the word I'm looking for here? She's a very active voice. She knows what she wants, and she knows like what she wants people to put into a group. Whereas I feel Adam and Byron, they are being so passive that she'd rather work with Jules, someone who she knows is going to follow through on the word and kind of match her energy. Whereas those two boys aren't really matching Dani's authority. Therefore, I don't think they're really thinking about mobilizing plans so much as Dani just wants to work with somebody who is more active as a player as she is, and that's just kind of allowing Jules to rise up the rankings and the other two to fall down.
I think that's a really
Agreed,
great.
but that works currently in Nassau, but does not necessarily work at all in a tribe swap, because there are big personalities over in Tortuga who will pick that out, do exactly what Dani has done, pick out the stronger players and go, yep, you need to go and you need to go because you're going to threaten my authority.
I just think
Can
with this
turn
vote,
very
though,
quickly.
I don't think this vote was so much about like tribal dynamics. I think it was more about Byron had a really flat energy, and he alluded as to why that was in the episode. And I think on the ground, if you're doubting someone's commitment to the game, and you've got someone who not only wants to fight, but wants to fight to the same degree that you want to, you're naturally going to try and pull that person in, because realistically, you met these people 2 hours ago. So if someone chirps up in the last 45 minutes and you can see that being a lot more useful to you, you are going to do a little bit of like, I don't want to play with you anymore, and kind of pick up something new.
We will talk a bit more about the vote, of course, at the end of the episode, but let's go back to the start of the episode. They've returned, they've got their crunchy rice biscuit, which they love because they've got salt and pepper. I tell you, people, salt and pepper on this stuff is elite. It's all we're feeding them, not like the soft game you guys played. Now, anything else interesting happened there? I think we get a confessional from Byron. He's a bit sad that he's had to vote out Hannah because his strategy was to keep Hannah, even though he's been to 2 tribal councils and voted for her twice. So it's an interesting strategy from him in terms of who he wanted to keep. It's the only name he wrote down. But he's looking for a new alpha that he can beta to. And the alpha he's identified is not Dani, but it's Chris. What do you think of that take? Alpha Chris. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, that literally cracked me up. I was like, okay, Chris, the dumb top we never saw coming, rooting for him. He literally has been like, every episode shocking me. He's coming out as this strong leader. Everyone just seems to be, like no one said his name as a target. He's in with the boys. He's in with the girls. I think every sort of mentioned, this 4 and this 5 and this 3, Chris is in the middle of that. It's like the Venn diagrams of the whole tribe. Chris is just in the center. So he's clearly doing amazing work. So good for Chris.
Ash says, bring in Alpha Chris. Mark, is Chris the most alpha Chris that has played Melbourne Survivor? Is he more alpha than myself and CM and Chris? And that's it.
Combined.
You're only as alpha as your famous Josh O'Brien impression, CK. So we've got a limiter on you. No, I was going to say that I think Chris is playing the kind of game that Evan wants to be playing.
Yeah.
Where he's connected to everyone, not shining that bright, but still has, like, people will come for Dani before they come for Chris, right? And I'm not saying Evan's not playing that game. Tortuga just hasn't gone to tribal council yet. So, yeah, I think he's positioned himself as well as he can for a tribe that's on their way to a Matt Singh. So,
did anybody have anything else interesting to talk about from this before Shelley goes on the raid, from the pre-raid camp time?
Let me check my notes.
I had a little one. So again, like Adam keeps getting these like sort of foreshadowing, like he's always just the nervous character, shady, like just unsure of himself constantly. And then there was a moment where he's trying to sort of vibe with Jules and see if she's going to give him anything in the strat chat. And Jules is just sort of stonewalling him. And Adam, really picks up on that vibe. And then Jules says it's because she knows that Adam was throwing her name out and she wants Adam out next. So I thought that showed sort of but although Jules is more confident, Adam's the more nervous one, but they both have that self-awareness that they can sense they're both not vibing with each other. They know the writing's on the wall.
Jules is feeling very powerful about this recap because she said twice that he did not try to talk strat to me at all. That's a really interesting point, so I was going to raise that. Loz, even if someone had been planning to vote you out, if they then, the next vote, tried to speak strategy with you, would you not speak strategy with them, whether it's genuine or not? it's worth having some strategy discussion, wouldn't you say? Or do you disagree?
Look, I mean, this is where I guess not ego as such, but how personally you take things and the ability to move on and forgive and forget and all those sort of things come into it. And some people are better at it than others. And sometimes a vote against you or targeting you feels more personal than it probably should. And against your better judgment, against the fact that you should be trying to work with the person, you kind of go, well, fuck you. I mean, you already had a go at me. What can you possibly offer me now that is going to change my mind? And I'm awful at it. Some people are really good at it, who can just turn around and go, you know what? Yeah, no big deal. Like, let's move on, and it's not a problem. I see Jules's perspective on it, where is he really going to work with her, or is he really just, making another approach because he's not feeling super confident where he's sitting? I don't know.
I think that's a great take. Marc?
I just don't think that Adam, I don't think Adam was genuinely trying to work it out on the remix with Jules. I think he was trying to bait her into Strat Chat, and then anything that she gave, he was just going to use against her. So I kind of like that Jules didn't take the bait, because there are a million ways to start that conversation, and you've got to give a little if you want to get something in return. And he was just trying to bait her into saying something and throwing something out there that was just going to end up biting Jules back in the face.
And it's a risk you take when you've got to suddenly go, all right, I know you're working against me, but sure, I'll give you a little bit of rope, but you could end up hanging yourself with it. So, and Jules had good numbers already.
I just want to say that when I knew Adam, we talked about this. He was an alternate at Melbourne 3. I met him there. I met him a few times. When I cast him in this, I had no idea that he would be such a paranoid mess. And I don't think I even realized at the real time that he was being such a paranoid mess. And it's fantastically entertaining how paranoid this guy is, considering he is reasonably insulated in his tribe. He has an alliance with Dani. Dani's calling the shots. He's got his boys' alliance. He is insulated, yet he is so hilariously paranoid, and I am here for it. It's wildly entertaining. Josh, you had something you wanted to add?
Yeah, just Jules's comment over there. Something in Adam's own head. What's that? Has he got some wrong end of a stick somewhere?
Adam gave me weird vibes because of something in his own head. I think she means his paranoia. He was just so paranoid from the get-go that he might have come across as sketchy. He might have come off as whatever, because he's just so in his head about everything. We saw that last week with his absolute paranoia about who voted for Hannah, and that someone must be lying to him, because it couldn't have been Byron. It's just, who cares? We go now to...
I don't want to be mean, but I think as someone who plays these games within an inch of their life, every tribal council, I'm always an alternate or a name or something that's being thrown out. To have someone who is so well protected and so insulated constantly be on that verge of a breakdown, it's I find it really tiring, because it's you don't know real trauma. But I'm hoping he can get over it. I'm hoping I do want to see these people overcome that barrier. So I'm hoping that maybe a swap could be good for him, but we'll see.
Jules has said here that pre-game they had to say who they knew. He had said her, probably because he was crewing on the one-day game that Jules played before this, and she didn't know what he was talking about. And he said he didn't, I guess post-game, that he didn't want to work with her because of that called-out prior relationship. I guess he was trying to downplay the fact that they'd been identified as two people that knew each other somehow. But, I guess that makes sense. We go on to the raid. Did you guys enjoy the raid? Whatever, meh. What do you think? Loz, did you enjoy it?
I mean, it was funny that they've lost their flint.
Yeah.
Can I say that was actually way funnier in the real time, because it went on for about 10 minutes. And Shelley got there and she's like, I want the flint.
How did you lose it?
Yeah, and Shelley goes, I want the flint. And they're like looking around everywhere for it and they can't find it. And I knew Nat had taken it, but I just let this play out like before they realized this. And eventually they came up and they're like, we think Nat took it. And Shelley's like, nah, shut the fuck up. Like, I don't believe you guys for a fucking second. Like, bullshit, give me the flint. And then I'd have been like, yeah, Nat took it. And she's like, oh, well, I guess I'll take something else then. What do you think about just ruining their tent for the sake of it? That was some good energy. Mark?
I don't know. It felt pretty anticlimactic. I kind of thought it might be a little bit more dramatic, but
I would have loved to have seen like a sped up version of everyone looking for the flint for 10 minutes because I thought Shelley just kind of like conceded and was like, all right, I'll take something else. But knowing that like you couldn't move the day on, like I wanted to see that moment.
Yeah. It was pretty funny, actually.
And then now what? Like, are Tortuga concerned that they now no longer have a flint? I mean, I thought that was the only really interesting.
I guess they're just not going to eat because you're not going to eat on this show without a flint. I can guarantee you there's no food coming. Just here's a free muffin.
Nat was the fire maker, Nat was the cook, Nat was the... Yeah. So not only is the person who was doing it all gone, she also took the flint with her.
I imagine Christelle could light a fire. She's just a scout leader. But the Nat actually took it by accident from memory. It wasn't a Xavier move. She just had it in her pocket because she liked being the fire maker.
Well,
Josh?
KK said she was like said how stupid it was that Shelley took the tarp, and I was like, stupid. I'm like, if I would literally be like tarp or the flint. I thought that was the most logical thing to take because although it is a short game, if it starts raining at any time, like you need that tarp over you. It's just gonna make you miserable, wet. Like I thought that was the best thing to do, but KK was like laughing it off. I was like, no, I think Shelley did the right thing there, and it gave me Sandra vibes from when she like did that back in the day. It's pretty cute.
I think that's a good point, Josh. You don't need the tarp, I don't feel, because I played in the rain. You don't need the tarp to protect you from the rain. But what you do need the tarp for is to protect your stuff. Your sleeping bag, your clothes. You just put that all under the tarp and then it's dry at the end of the day. If that shit's sitting in the rain, you've got a horrible night in store if you manage to make it that far. Okay.
Well, and taking it off the other tribe, well, all their stuff's wet.
Of course, you guys are all postulating a swap is coming. So if that was the case, somebody from the original Nassau is, statistically likely to end up in a negative situation. Read the tarp. But we don't know if one's coming. You're just making assumptions.
Hopefully Adam and play with his head even more.
Shelley said they tried to give her the small one and she said, nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get your money's worth.
Let's just talk about Tortuga and their little tribe moment. I felt that as a tribe, they're getting a little bit in the danger, and this was my experience when I played Playing with Fire, where you're not going to tribal council, so you start like planning all these moves because that you're there to play, and you start planning too many moves, and then you're giving a lot of people the wrong vibes about. You're letting Aaron know where he is. You're letting other people know where they sit because you're having all these discussions. I think they're doing that a bit, but I think for the most part, they seem to be managing that. What did you think about that, Loz?
I've never been in that situation to be comfortable enough because you're not losing. So I do wonder how that affects the longer term game. Because there's these alliances going on, but alliances mean nothing until they're tested. And there were a couple of interesting comments made. Ash had said to Mars about, you're my ride or die. And Mars comes back and says, well, yeah, she's my ride or die until it doesn't suit me anymore. And the problem is that when you're forced to be making decisions like Nassau are constantly, life or death decisions, you can build the trust that actually means something, whereas the whatever these alliances that are forming potentially on Tortuga, who knows whether they'll withstand a vote, let alone a tribe swap, let alone anything else. Aaron knows where he's sitting. He's sitting at the bottom. That's a dangerous position now for the rest of them, because that then gives him the power to flip. I think it just builds complacency, maybe. And as much as you can say, yeah, you're my ride or die, you're my alliance, that means nothing until a vote. So if it goes to a tribe swap, I think Nassau are a much stronger tribe moving forward than Tortuga, because those alliances have been tested.
Mark?
I definitely think some big move itis is going around the camp. I don't know if I fully agree though. Like I feel like certain players in Nassau will navigate this very well, but I don't think the entire collective will survive. Like I don't see the numbers equalizing fully.
Josh?
But yeah, I definitely
What did
think
you-
someone needs to be nice to Aaron, because having someone very well aware that they are on the bottom and not connected to anyone is like, that's the man that scalps everyone at the end of the game. So
Yeah, give us your perspective on Aaron, Josh. Should people be doing more to make him feel better? It doesn't seem like anyone's really making much of an effort.
Yeah, I think Aaron is an accident waiting to happen. A swap happened, you get some jumbled up weird composition. And I think Adam will like lose himself in paranoia, and I can see him like flipping on his old tribe just to save himself and doing like a Cochrane move in South Pacific and then everyone hating him. But then I can also see Aaron like really capitalizing and flipping and making a better move for his game. And it's, you know, if he pisses off the whole blue tribe, what does he care? They never wanted him anyway, so good for him. But I loved Greg's confessional of him like going through the tiers of all the alliances, and he's like, oh, we've got the core four, we've got Evan and Mietta like kind of on the outer, and then Aaron's like on the outer. I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah.
this was King Greg's episode. Hey, like he
Yeah.
had the best
Love
content.
Greg.
I'm going to Melbourne just to start the chapter of the Greg fan club. Like, I'm here.
You're going to see Greg while you're in Melbourne?
Oh, will Greg see me? Do I get an opportunity? Only time will tell.
I must say, a lot of these Tortuga people are really delivering some excellent confessionals, which is important when you're on a tribe that's had, you know, success for 2 episodes, because you're not otherwise getting a lot of quality content from them. We talked about Mars as one where he's talking about his plan to eventually sell out Ash, that he won't stay with her forever. You've got Christelle or KK continuing to give just these high energy, high information, chaotic confessionals where it almost seems like she knows what she's doing, but then half the time it also seems like she doesn't. Is that the vibe that you get from her, Josh?
Yeah, definitely. Like she's funny, and she kind of, you don't know where she's at. She's like, you know, a broken clock's right twice a day vibes, but she's doing all the right moves. She's in the right alliances. She's charming. Like, yeah, she's making it work. And there was a moment where you could see her kind of playing Aaron, where Aaron was really trying to be like, oh, you know, I feel close to you girls, like to Ash and KK. And I think KK was kind of saying some reassuring stuff. And I was just like, oh, like, you know, you feel bad for Aaron. Like he's really trying, but he's just on a slippery slope down. Yeah.
And Ash gave, I think, quite a, you know, she's continuing this behavior where she's all nice, I guess, with Christelle and that tribe, but she's giving these quite catty confessionals. Did anyone like write down or note that confessional, maybe, Loz? I think you might have enjoyed it when it came up.
Oh, yeah, because this is exactly what I was hoping for from Ash. See if I took any notes on. She loves the dysfunction, which is, I love the dysfunction as well. I just think that's what Ash excels at. You know, she's genuine and charismatic to your face, but she's vicious behind the scenes. And the only thing that I think will potentially hold her back in this game is that there's a couple of other people who have that particular skill set as well. And I love her confessionals. I love, you know, especially when there's nothing happening at Tortuga, she is able to pull a lot out. But I don't know, like, wouldn't you? I don't know. I would be bringing Aaron in. I think that's going to be potentially a downfall for Ash, Mars, KK, and looking
At the
ahead,
expense of
maybe
who,
they're
though?
looking too big instead of too small.
At the expense of who? Who would you be bringing Aaron in for, and who would you be bumping out?
Well, there's no need to bump anyone out yet. I mean, not when there's not a vote. At least make him feel that he's not the bottom, that wasn't how that played out. It wasn't Nat then him, it was Nat, and for whatever reason he wasn't involved in the discussions, but he's part of the crew, and moving forward, don't doubt that, you know, you're important to us and you've got a place in our alliance, as opposed to just, I mean, Aaron is shrugging it off, but he must know, like, clearly he knows that he's in trouble.
I really liked Greg's explanation for not taking, like, for just taking the blame for the vote on him. Like, how it was like, I either argue that it wasn't me and throw other people's names under the bus, and that puts me in the spotlight, or I just cop it, let him dislike me. Like, for all the people who are treating Aaron poorly, I think Greg is doing the best job of it in terms of, like, while Aaron might be coming for him a bit, he's not upsetting anyone else by doing that. And it's showing loyalty to other people. So I actually really liked his reasoning.
And there's a good moment there where KK, again, is she a mastermind who knows the game, or is she just stumbling into this, says to him, and he probably won't believe you anyway, which is true. Like, why would he's convinced Greg did it. Why would he believe Greg? And the fact is, KK is the one that actually voted for Aaron. So it suits KK for Greg to keep his mouth shut. So is this elite play from her, or is it just stumbling into the right move with her?
It was an agreed
enthusiasm?
thing to split the vote. It's not like it was a personal attack.
Yeah, it's a group consensus.
Where there was one rogue vote. They agreed to split the vote.
Yeah, but I assume no one's telling Aaron that. I assume they want him believing it was a rogue vote.
Why wouldn't you just go straight up and go, okay, look, here was our reasoning. It sucked. We feel bad. We didn't really want you to go. But now it looks like there was some dysfunction with like rogue votes and.
You don't want to end up sounding like the other tribe going on and on about the rogue vote for Hannah. Like,
well, Aaron is not going on about the rogue vote, and they don't have an Adam on their tribe who's losing his mind over it. So they really moved on from it. Like, maybe Aaron knows it was a split. I'm not sure, but if we thought it was a split, why would he be so honed in on the fact that he thinks Greg voted for him? Like, he seems quite perturbed that one person in particular voted for him, and that's bothered him. So maybe it's been sold as a rogue.
I just want Aaron to have a win in this game. I feel like he needs it. Like, just any win, give him something.
Aaron's win was being cast. Like, no matter what happens in this game, playing this was his dream. Like, he really got to me with his application and his Survivor games. He plays with his kids. Like, you know, he didn't present as the most potentially dynamic person in the world, but we don't need 16 dynamic people. We don't need 16 orcas, but I knew that this was going to be very meaningful for him. So he's having a great time. Don't worry about Aaron.
Okay.
Let's go to the challenge. Did you guys, who was here last week? Marc, did you actually know what was going on in this challenge, or were you still left a bit confused?
I could piece it together. I thought the contraption was a bit flimsy looking. I didn't like the rule about, like, when the bucket fell over, you couldn't reset. I feel like drop the rope, do a reset, because time is of the essence in these things, right? And I feel like if a challenge goes over time, it tends to cut into scramble time, which is always a detriment. So I was like, if you knock the bucket over, let them reset. I will argue with challenge officials till my last breath. So that's just me.
We don't need to talk about challenge too much because it's a challenge. At least it was unique and interesting. I do remember, I don't think you could work this out from the video, and there was a confessional about it later. But Tortuga, who were losing miserably to start off with, developed some sort of better strategy throughout. I think what they ended up doing was having 5 people all on one side and then one person on the other side. And that was actually the really effective way to do it. And they just then got ball after ball after ball. And I remember watching this from the sidelines going, is someone in Nassau going to see what Tortuga are doing as a strategy and start copying it? And they never did. They never even took a look at why they were losing and what their strategy was, which I thought was a bit of a fail on the Nassau's part.
Yeah, I love a challenge hack, like especially with like ropes and tension and things like that. There's like always a way to work it out. So that was very cool to see in action.
Yeah, Marc's always looking for a new knot for his dungeon in that little wardrobe you can see behind him.
That's incredibly awful.
Yeah. So on that
Don't
note,
make me tell the podcast what you used your buffs for.
So we go into, this is a family podcast. Thank you. Keep it.
So you did that too, Josh? I thought it was only me.
We go to. You can tell me after the show, right? I love salacious stuff, but not on the show. Now we go to Uncharted Waters. Speaking of nasty knot, and again, well, you weren't here, Loz, last week, so let's ask you. Do you enjoy the mechanic with the doubloons and you're having to choose whether you go or not, therefore choosing whether you're going to be in the strat chat? Is that enjoyable to you, or you think that's too much? Fresh mechanics.
I think it's too much. I just think I don't think it needs to be that complicated. I don't know. I can't. Is it your thing? Was it your thing?
Yeah,
Was that your idea? Of course it was. I don't know. I think it's too much. And then especially with Nassau, like there's no people left and you can't send the same people back to back and then they put, I don't know, like to me, I don't know what it adds. What does it add to the, if you want to go put your hand up?
It adds a decision. And the decision is always
critical.
Did we just ask him?
Or why couldn't the other tribe pick, so why couldn't Tortuga pick people from Nassau to go and vice versa?
Well, that would have overcomplicated it.
As opposed to the doubloons but only 3 people can go and the same people can't go back to back. I don't know, whatever. It
also got worse because they kept losing their fucking doubloons. And I said, if you lose it, you can't go. But then too many people lost it and it would have like destroyed the mechanic. So then I had to give them spare doubloons. And I'm like, yeah, they had to hold on to your doubloon.
Well, what did you expect with the 2 lost flints and...
I didn't know they were going to be this useless.
Is the whole cast ADHD and you just didn't screen them properly?
As Julia said, Julia, you're Jules. You're freaking me out with your name, Julia Williams 7191. You don't mean like call Julia, don't have it in your name. As Jules is saying, they made a decision. So 3 people could have gone, but 2 people, one person decided to stay back. That's the decision. I would rather be involved in the strategy strat than go look for advantages. It's less of a decision for Tortuga, of course, but you know that's the idea. And obviously they go there, and in that scenario, Greg finds an advantage. How did you feel, Marc, about the fact that Greg immediately shared the advantage with as many people as possible?
Oh my god. Firstly, thank you for jogging my memory. I cannot remember this happened. Yeah, I didn't love the immediately sharing when it didn't need to be shared, right? Like it's hard. Like you get a chip in this game and you want to share it to get some stocks. But I think everyone, and I'm speaking from experience here, I think everyone needs to take a moment before they decide what they're going to do with the advantage and like commit to the game plan. Because I think we tend to just like the heart races and we just do something and then we have to pick up the pieces after it. And I think if you just had a moment to like really think about it, not only do I share this, but how do I share it? Would have been better to see, but it's so hard.
It did seem to me that he, and you tell me if you agree with this, Loz, that he did rush to share it with Ash, who's obviously in his core 4 alliance, but that Evan more so sort of stumbled into their conversation. That's how it appeared to me. Did you read that? Well, Josh, you're nodding. Did you see it that way?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, oh yeah, okay, fair enough. He's showing Ash, And then it just seemed like Evan pops up over his shoulder from nowhere. And I was like, oh, like maybe that's not the best. Because, yeah, if there's a swap coming up, Evan is one of those people on the outer. And maybe he could be a flipper. I don't know. But I don't know. Sorry, Loz, I kind of chipped in there.
Evan 100% would flip on the Tortuga group.
Well, Greg mentioned, he said he thinks people might be coming for himself or Miles, so he's glad he's got that extra vote. But then it's like, well, you've just kind of given up some of its power by telling the people who might be the ones to come for you.
Extra votes in particular tend to generate much more threat than the value they actually have. So to make an extra vote work, no one needs to know that it's in play.
Yeah,
this is true. Do we actually, you know, we all watched a lot of Survivor. Can you think of times when extra votes actually like mattered, other than like the last episode of season 49? What do you got, Mark? The extra votes.
Really.
You used an extra vote?
My season of Backyard, my extra vote
Yeah.
with Haley in the 2-2
Yeah.
tribe, like it came into play,
Very.
and it's the reason why I didn't go home that round.
Perfect.
And that was because
So
no one knew about it.
Yeah, you kept it secret. I felt that Greg, though, got the credit, even though he didn't really, I feel, intend to loop Evan in. He got the credit from it because then Evan had a confessional saying how he now felt better about Greg because Greg did loop him in, which is good for Greg, I suppose.
I still think Evan's the kind of person.
Let's
Where,
go
like-
Loz. Maybe Loz in a bit.
Sorry.
Loz.
Well, I mean, but this is the problem when they haven't been to tribal council. I mean, what does that trust mean? You know, there's nothing to base it on. So, you know, Greg looping Evan in on an advantage that he felt he had to because they saw him find it. Does that really make Evan feel better? I don't know.
According to Evan's confessional, it did. It just feels like Evan misread the situation and he felt like he was being more purposely included. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
you know,
and I mean that. Okay, so maybe that does make Evan trust them slightly more. Will it matter though if we end up in a split? I don't know. At the moment, it's hard when advantages are great, but only if they've got sort of value or relevance. And at the moment, to me, I don't know. I don't know what it's adding right now. That's why I'm keen to see something change, because Tortuga at the moment are just in a holding pattern. Mieta has an idol, you know, but until they go to vote or they get a swap, what does any of it mean? I don't know.
Let's talk sharing advantages as we skip over now to the strat chat before the tribal. And we talked a little bit about the moves that were being made at the start of the episode and Dani's general power over the tribe. But what seemed to drive home Byron's boot against a Jules potential was Jules making the decision to tell basically most of the tribe about the idol. She tells Dani first, locking that in, tells Chris that she's told Dani. Chris doesn't feel very good about that. Then she tells Shelley. So now everyone knows except for Byron and Adam. This could have backfired, but it seemed to get her through this vote. How did you see this one, Josh?
Yeah, I was very scared. Like when Jules started telling people, I was like, okay, maybe it's a good idea. But then I think cleverly it was edited to show, like, I was paranoid that Jules may get voted out. Like it showed Chris was saying at one point, like, oh, I want to try and get the idol from Jules so she doesn't go home with it. Like he seemed to be considering voting for her. I was scared that Dani might flip on her. And I was like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Like, I really hope Jules stayed and that Adam and Byron were, like, one of them were the ones to go. Yeah, I was very scared, but I'm glad that, it seems like the core four that stuck together are the ones I hoped, which is Jules, Dani, Chris, and Shelley. So I'm very happy with the outcome there. Yeah. And yeah, hopefully... Oh, does Adam know about it as well?
No, I think Adam doesn't know. in the episode? Anyone have a view?
Well, I hope not, because if they swap next episode, Adam would be the one to leak it and stitch Jules up probably and flip. So I hope that the core 4 without Adam can, keep it within that 4 and not tell anybody.
Jules says that I knew my name was out there. I did it to read their responses to see if I needed to use it, which is, I think, a very good strategy. Loz, what did you think about Jules's idol power play in these negotiations for the boot?
Idols make me so uncomfortable. I don't know that there's a right or a wrong way to play them. And I think it's case by case depending on the circumstances. And you can still misread, I think it could have gone one way or the other. I think the fact that Dani was determined to keep Jules meant that revealing the idol probably didn't have as much of an impact as it may have either way, like if she hadn't. But the more people who know you have it, the less power it potentially holds. So I felt like Jules was probably going to be safe even if she hadn't told them. But again, it's a decision you make at the time, depending on how comfortable or safe you're feeling. I liked that Chris had given it to Jules in right at the start in the first episode when they found it. I thought that was a fairly powerful move to give it to somebody and then know that you could use that against them. But now it's starting to lose that power to an extent.
I disagree. As someone with a PhD in ideology, I think there are a few bits and pieces that made it really work in this scenario. I think if it was Jules's own idol and she revealed she found it on her own, it would have spooked the tribe, and I don't think it would have worked in that regard. But because it was Chris's idol and Chris wants it back, he was happy for Jules to take the threat while also getting the reassurance it wasn't going to get played and still potentially be there for him. I think because Dani was rooting for Jules and the fact that Jules was making a solid case for herself and Dani no longer needed to stick her neck out for Jules and instead could say, look, she brings protection to our group come a swap. It allowed Dani to fall behind Jules's solid reasoning without sticking her head up like she did the previous vote with the Hannah vote. So I think because of those two key dynamics, that it was Chris's idol and because Dani wanted to work with her but didn't want to do any pushing, I think it was the right play in this scenario. And I think it still has power because coming into a swap, everyone's nervous, everyone wants Jules on their side.
I think that's some great analysis, Mark. I want to ask you one question before we bring in Byron. You're the expert in, you got the masters in ideology. Is there any way that Chris could get his idol back from Jules in a way that is not incredibly fucking sus?
I don't think so. I think it's like we're together. The idol is the symbol of our trust. And if you take that symbol away, there's no trust that's left. I think the only way he gets it is if Chris goes to tribal council post-swap, Jules is not there, and Jules can discreetly hand it to him. And then that also makes Jules look more solid to any other existing Nassau members. That's the only dynamic I see Chris getting this back.
That would be iconic if Jules did that.
Would you give an idol back just generally? Let's say you're in this scenario, and I appreciate the point you're making, but let's say you're in alliance with me, we find this idol together, and you've got it, and then I'm like, hey, can I hold the idol? Like, no one here is giving me the idol.
One of my biggest regrets from season 5. One of my biggest regrets from season 5 is not giving Mel the extra vote, because I had an early game alliance with her, right, when she went home after the puzzle. So like that hindsight personally for me means if that kind of situation came up where I had guaranteed safety and someone who I needed for my game did not, I'd possibly do it. Like, the permutation's endless, but that's the only situation I see Chris getting this back.
Does anyone have any really exciting comments they want to make about the tribal councils? The tribal council. I think the tribal council is really well edited, by the way. It's snappy, it's quick. Tribal councils can sometimes be a little bit boring if they go long for me, if there's nothing particularly interesting happening and it's just people answering questions. I like the takes on these. Josh?
It's not about tribal, but I do think we skipped some sort of important content. So just the stuff at Uncharted Waters, like the chat between Shelley and Byron, and then the interaction with Ash and Byron as well.
I think I wrote down what Ash said.
Yeah, because we're about to get Byron in. Should we bring it up while he's here or discuss it?
No, bring it up while he's here. That's fine. Now, I'm going to let Marc go because he has a plane to catch, and I haven't set up this program for 4 people and a guest. So thank you, Marc. We will see you soon. Thank you for your takes, as always.
Thank you. Can't wait to go see my husband, Greg, in Melbourne. Bye.
And that's photos, please. Okay, so now we're bringing in the boot. He was such a lovely presence on the season. Oh, yeah, sorry. Look. Dani's probably throwing some sticks right now at her house. The stick throwing moment was quite iconic. Jules always has Dani's back. With the frustration at losing again, and she picks up that stick and just throws it at nothing was, I think, a highlight for me of the episode. Did you guys enjoy that too?
She was channeling like a angry teenage boy with like anger management problems. I was like, Dani, you're losing it. Like, keep it cool. Come on.
Now, one person who doesn't need to throw sticks when they're on Survivor because they have the ability to meditate and do yoga to help them through the stress. They always seemed very, very calm throughout the whole season, even when they were voting for their number one ally, who their entire strategy revolved around. On the only 2 occasions they actually went to tribal council while she was present. But still, the strategy was there, identifying Chris as an alpha, which, we joked about. But Chris really is the cornerstone of a lot of alliances in that tribe. So it was actually a smart.
I said that weeks ago. Did I not?
So it's quite smart.
For that reason. So
very savvy of Byron to pick that up and not look at Chris's personality as a big bombastic personality, because it's not, but to see that he's got the power. Though he would have been better off obviously realizing that Dani had the power. But he provided a great character on the season, and I think we're going to be great to hear about all his perspectives, his relationship with Hannah and everything else. So let's, without further ado, bring in just gotta get myself ready. The boot of this episode, the 4th person voted out, Byron.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
I'm a boot, am I? That's how you're referring to me, the boot?
That's the Survivor term. Have you not heard that term before?
No, I have. It's just the way you said it. Wait, so I want to know, what are you all doing with your buffs? I'm confused.
I thought it was sex.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you double them over a few times, they make a really good stretchy blindfold. I mean, Loz, you know where it's at, right?
I have no further comments to make in this particular forum.
Yeah,
even public forum, yes.
Yeah. Don't know what you're talking about.
All right, guys, this is your first time meeting Byron. What do you want to ask about his experience on Survivor Uncharted Waters?
Can I start?
Yes, you go for
it. So Byron, it's really nice to meet you in person, and I actually have a whole stack of questions, but I will share my time with Josh. So I guess for me, the moment that I finally felt like I understood you was in this episode, and you did your confessional, and you knew that your name was out there. You knew it was going to be you or Jules, and you said, with what I've gone through in my life in the last little while leading up to this, and you talked about it, and you said, you know what, this is a small thing compared to it. And that was the moment that I went, oh my God, I get you, finally. Because I was trying to work out where your head was at in the game and what your strategy was going to be. And when you come into it with so much sort of weighing on you, it made a lot more sense to me about how you played. So I guess that was I don't know if that was a particularly vulnerable moment for you, or if, you know, you were happy to share that. But if that's something you would like to talk about, I'd love to hear about that moment and where you felt you were in the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I just wanted to be real the whole time, really, like in terms of with those to camera moments about what I was going through. That was the first time it was shown in the edit, but you know, I had mentioned it quite a few times. I think I remember in Dani's confessional at one point, she mentioned, you know, Byron really likes talking about what's going on in his personal life, but not so much strategy chat. So like, if you go back to that, like, obviously I was telling people what had been happening. I'd just gone through a pretty bad breakup. You know, he'd moved out 4 days before I, you know, came on the show. So yeah, it was all like pretty top of mind. I look back at that and I was like, I was so chaotic. A lot of my choices were so chaotic just because I was not in the right headspace, I think. Like I just was thinking about so many other things other than the game whilst still playing the game. Yeah.
Did you think about ever pulling out? Because that would have been very bad for me. But did you ever think about pulling out? I'm not playing, given where your headspace was at, or were you always going to?
Not at all. I was so excited to have been cast to begin with. Like it's a dream for me, and to have had that experience, even though, you know, I only lasted 3 episodes. It was still an amazing experience. So no, there was never a point where I was going to cancel.
No,
Josh,
that's good.
do you have a question?
Well, yeah, I guess, I mean, Loz said it so eloquently, but yeah, sort of building on that, like, I think, you know, even like seeing you now, talking to you now, you have like so much more of a warmth and stuff. But yeah, it just feels like you could really tell there was something. It's like, you know,
Weighing
just
on you.
people, yeah, like people weren't vibing with you that much. They could, you know, even like when you had that interaction with Ash, like she thought something's a bit off, and it makes sense why. It just sucks that, yeah, that was a situation that happened. But yeah, I don't know. I feel
like watching it, I was looking at it and like just looking at myself, I'm like, oh, you can see the pain that I'm going through.
Yeah.
Like, I don't look like a happy guy, and like, you know, you can't hide some things.
Yeah, I just feel so bad.
Yeah, is what it is. I'm great now, by the way. Like,
obviously,
now.
You have a new partner, don't you? You've just spent traveling much of the world with. Is that right?
I do. Yeah. We took 5 weeks off and traveled through Croatia this year together. Yeah, going very good. Living in Frankston.
This all worked out in the end. Whoever that old person was, don't worry them. They had to go so you could meet this person.
With Ashley, it was interesting hearing her confessional about our interaction as well. Because like I do actually have like a pretty dry, maybe borderline dark sense of humor, and I'm quite sarcastic. So like it takes a while to understand that about me. And I guess, you know, we only had brief interactions, Ashley and I. So yeah, I just think she probably just didn't get my vibe, and that's cool. Like, you know, not everyone gels.
Tell us, someone you did gel with, of course, though, was your bestie Hannah, despite voting for her twice. No one else on the tribe really was into Hannah. What was it about Hannah that really drew you? I know you kept talking about how she was the alpha, and she was a bit, but what about her personality did you really enjoy?
Oh, she's just a cool lady. Like the stories she was telling me about, you know, being a nurse on cruise ships and what that entails and what her life has been like up until this point. Like, just what an awesome person she is. So like really we just connected on like a good personal level, like had a lot of good chats and a lot of you know, stoking the fire kind of moments. I feel like Hannah and I really like kept that fire alive, both, you know, being into I don't know, I guess camping and things like that. But yeah, in terms of why I voted for her, that was totally a chaotic moment. I think leading into that moment, like I really was not sure who I was going to vote for. It was because everyone was throwing Xavier's name out there, and yeah, I kind of had this strategy where I wanted to use Hannah as a shield and like be behind her, not realizing that she actually didn't have that much power in the actual dynamics of the tribe. I kind of just thought she took this spot of power, and I just trusted that that meant that people would kind of follow. But yeah, that did not happen at all. But yeah, I just wanted to cause a little bit of chaos. I truly never thought anyone would even like ruminate on the fact that there was one other vote. I just thought that might just build her up even more as like a possible threat for people, or like a possible like, yeah, she's one to look out for. But yeah, Shelley was on to me. I couldn't trick her. For some reason, she just knew. I don't know what it was. She could spot a lie.
We got a little reference in this episode to your queer alliance with Jules. I think Jules mentioned it, you mentioned it, but we didn't see much else of it in the edit. Can you tell us about your relationship with Jules and your connection?
Yeah, like we had some good chats, Jules, and I'm not sure. I don't want to out anyone, so there was one other person on a queer alliance. I don't want to out them just in case they're not out, just because I'm not sure. But we had good chats. Like I thought we had built like this kind of like mini alliance on the side. I wasn't like blindly trusting in it. I had other stronger alliances. I thought, for me, my strongest alliance I thought was like Adam, Chris, and Shelley, with like Dani as the ring-in. But I truly just had no idea that Dani and Jules were pulling so much weight, especially with Jules as idol. Like there's no way I could have competed with that.
Loz, you said you had a bunch of questions. You're after that, Josh. What you got, Loz?
So I want to go all the way back to the first episode, because for me, when Xavier got voted out, Xavier was part of my draft pick. And I know why Dani did it. I know why she targeted him, because she was targeting threats. But what I think sort of seems to have happened is that you take a really big player who has momentum out, and especially in challenges, it looked like it started to then affect Nassau quite dramatically in challenges by losing that big person. What were your thoughts on the Xavier vote? Was that, where did you think you could have changed it? What would you have done instead?
Look, no shade to Xavier, but I did not personally see him as like a challenge beast or anything like that. I didn't think that he was by any means pulling our tribe. And with the first vote, I feel like no one really wanted to like, cause any kind of, what do you say? We all just wanted to go with the majority. No one wanted to like ruffle any feathers, so to speak. So once his name was kind of thrown out there, everyone was kind of just like, yeah, let's just go for him. That's easier. Like we don't want to put our names in the ring. So if his name is being thrown out there, then for sure.
In hindsight, I mean, which is great in Survivor because it's the only time you can really reflect. Good move or bad move for you?
For me personally, in hindsight, I think I could have made a strong alliance with, Xavier, Adam, maybe Hannah as well. If we had have just like had some good chats and worked together. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting watching it play out, and whether it's got anything to do with Xavier being good in challenges or not, I'll never know. But it is interesting to watch somebody who was deemed a big threat, Xavier, to go, then Hannah, this big threat, to go, and then we've just had another challenge loss. And would it have played out differently if another name had come up?
Look, I did think the same thing when I got voted out. I was like, really? Like, come on. Like, I was pulling my weight. Like, I was totally pulling my weight. I know that I was. Survivor's way more than just the challenges. That's just like a small part. I would say the alliances and everything is the main part. So, yeah, I get why. I understand why they did it. Whether or not that'll benefit the long run, we'll just have to see.
I can tell you for sure on the sidelines, Xavier thought that he would have been a massive asset on every single one of these challenges, and he let me know about it on the sidelines. So don't worry about that. Josh, you have some questions for me.
Yeah, I mean, we'll never know, so it's a reasonable suggestion.
There was a challenge because I stuck around for a little bit after the game. I didn't stay for the whole.
No spoilers, of course.
No spoilers, because I actually don't even know who won, so I'm keen to see as well. But I know that I think for the next episode, there was some sort of challenge where people were like on like a rock climbing wall. And I was like, damn it, I would have been so good at that. I would have been good at that.
Josh, do you have a question for Byron?
Yeah, I mean, if Loz has any more, go for it. But I just had a little one. So from the viewer's perspective, like, it seems, every episode we're always saying like, oh my God, Dani's running the show. Dani's controlling this. Like, we think Dani is, totally running the show. But as you've mentioned, you thought the strong 4 alliance was yourself, Chris, Adam and Shelley, and then Dani was sort of like an extra number. So for you, like, what was your perception of Dani in the game? Because yeah, it seems like for you, it didn't seem like she was running the show as much as it seemed like from our outside perspective looking in.
I think in hindsight, yeah, great question. In hindsight, Dani and I just didn't get a chance to like properly connect, I think, because if we did, we actually have a lot in common. And I think, if we had just had those chances, I do regret going to Uncharted Waters both times because I found nothing both times. And it separated me from those like team chats back at camp that I think definitely probably would have strengthened some bonds and made people want to keep me around for a little bit longer. So yeah, in terms of Dani, it was nothing personal at all. I just think that we just were like on either sides of the tribe, so to speak. Like we just didn't get those chances to have good, meaningful connections and chats.
Yeah, that sucks.
Loz,
Loz,
maybe
you have
one
any
more
more from your
question?
list?
Yeah, I guess my only other question is, I think you obviously had the awareness that your name was out there. It was you v Jules. Did you think you could survive that vote? So did you think that the tribe would turn on Jules? And is there anything else you think you could have done to change that outcome?
I truly did think that it was going to be Jules. So I totally got blindsided. It wasn't until like they were reading the names and the only Jules vote that they read up was the one that I had written, and I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
But I had no idea.
It wasn't clear actually in the edit. Like it sort of came across that you'd almost kind of accepted your fate. So the fact that it was a blindside, I guess shows that the others are playing.
Yeah, and I had no idea about Jules and Chris's idol and all of the alliances that they had going on with Dani as well. And so I just had no idea about the strength of their relationships. They kept that pretty hidden.
I've got one final question for you, but before that, do you have anything you want to say that you haven't had a chance to talk about?
I did not come prepared at all. I just came from the beach, actually. I like the nice sunset.
Yeah. Well, my question sort of relates to the beach a bit. So it's a question you're going to have to put yourself back in your own headspace back in that time. But when we cast you, like you were great in your interview, but part of the reason why we were originally attracted to you is because you'd played a one-day game and you'd been really great in that, but it had been a hot day at the beach and you'd done a lot of it shirtless. And your rig was really impressive. You had your beautiful blonde curls. And I'm like, I got to get this guy shirtless on Uncharted Waters because it would bring in all the babes and all the guys that like guys. Unfortunately, it was cold as fuck. But had it been warm, do you think we would have seen some Byron shirtless scenes?
It was cold as fuck. I remember that. Like, I remember being at the challenges, like, in my big ski jacket, just, like, freezing. Yeah. For sure.
That's what I want. Like, no jacket. I wanted to see the rig.
Well, there was that first
We
challenge.
all want that.
Yeah,
I think you kept. Yeah, you had to take the shirt off. The dream was to have you and Mars in a shirtless challenge. Ooh. That was the dream. Sadly, you getting booted here means that is no longer a possibility. But that was the casting.
I was newly single. I probably would have been into it. Who knows?
A rebound, why not? But thanks, Byron. Thanks for coming on, and thanks for being a great part.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been great.
Thanks, Byron.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, now we're going to go on to TWIOLSH, but don't go anywhere, Josh and Loz, because you will be a phone a friend for the guest, the TWIOLSH contestant of this week. Let me bring in our hostess with the mostest. My opponent just left. Where did he go? Oh, my God. Oh, he's back. Let me the hostess of the mostest. She's here to host. She's not here to talk about Uncharted Waters at all. If she does, if you try and get her to talk about it, she'll throw a stick at us. We're not going to talk about the stick. Come on, Dani. Welcome back to the show, hosting this week's episode of TWIOLSH. I'm just going to get my trophy. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited to be back. I hate that I can't talk about myself, but that's okay. You guys talked about me enough, so thank you very much.
Keep it in control. And now, well, facing me off in this week's episode of TWIOLSH is super appropriate because I've talked about him a lot in our coverage so far. He was a huge part of the organizing committee of Uncharted Waters, and with myself, did all the casting, and with myself and JP and Vince worked out a lot of the game mechanics, which are great. The doubloons are great. Shut up, Loz. They're great. Anyway, the mechanics are great. And without further ado, let me bring in the winner of Playing with Fire and the, what is it? Advantage Getting Robbed Merge Boot of Canberra Season 2. Let's bring in John.
Hey.
There he is.
Just John, just before we get into TWIOLSH, how much is our cast just popping on this season? I'm loving seeing these people. The people that I didn't think were going to be that interesting, even being in the real time, their confessionals are incredible. What a great cast. We're the best. Look at us. Who would have thought?
Oh, right. Yes. Yeah. Claim all the credit, obviously. No, I actually I've been in Peru, so I actually haven't seen season 4 yet, but I will watch this weekend to catch up.
Oh, you haven't watched any of it? Oh, but it's going good.
He was
a lot of
worried there was
reception on
going to
Inca
be
Trail.
W questions.
Well, you got a good way of watching to go. It's a quality season, and our cast is awesome. But you come back to me once you watch that. Okay. There's been some debate between myself and the original Quizmaster Jules about the rules. I said we're applying proper RHAP rules. She said, I don't know what those are. I said, you're wrong, Jules. So she messaged Jordan Kalish, DM'd him, and he said I was right. So thank you, Jordan Kalish. Jules had to admit she was wrong. Not an easy moment for her. But these are the rules we're playing.
She did it with grace, though. She's not here to defend herself. She did it with grace. She
Is that why she's not here?
Before you ever said anything, she said, I will admit I was wrong.
She did not like doing it.
She didn't like doing it, but she did it with grace. No one likes admitting they're wrong, particularly Scorpio. So
I also admitted I was partially wrong as well. But the rules will be 2 points for a correct answer, 1 point for the multiple choice, 1 point for a steal, whether they take the multiple choice or not. And John, you can pick whatever season of the 6 seasons you can pick from. Dani will tell you if you don't.
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Dani, let us know anyway for the people at home.
Melbourne 1, 2, 3, and a mystery box.
No, it's Melbourne 2, 3 in the mystery box.
Yes. Well, yeah. Melbourne 2, 3 mystery box. Backyard 4, One Well, and Canberra versus the World.
And you have the opportunity, John, to phone a friend for any of you can bring in Loz for the Canberra versus the World question, if you choose to pick that question, or you can bring in Josh. Marc appears to still also be there, so potentially bring in Marc for Backyard 5 or Josh for Backyard 4 if you need their help if you select one of those questions.
Can I ask for help for more than one question?
No.
You get one question. Which category? Dani, take it away. John gets to pick first.
Yep. John, which season would you like?
I feel like I should start easy on the Melbourne 3 because I might not remember much of the other seasons.
All right. Tribe swap. New tribes were decided by a schoolyard pick. Who was the last person chosen?
I remember this vividly because I was actually really hoping to be the last person picked because I wanted to be on CK's tribe. But it was unfortunately Tash.
Correct. 2 points.
Everyone wanted to be on my tribe, baby. It was the place to be. I will pick. Just give me. I don't know. Give me Warren Diet.
All right. At tribal council, Jason was voted out unanimously. Who referred to him as old Jason on their parchment?
Wow. Old Jason. Okay, so I'm not going to take the multiple choice, right? Because what's the point? Because there's like 8 people there, and he's one of them. There's Jason Muscles, there's Ingrid, there's Nat, there's what's there? Oh, actually, they swapped at this point. No, they haven't swapped. What's on that tribe? Liam on that tribe. Which one of these people would have called him old Jason? I kind of feel it's like CM, but like would CM be the answer 2 weeks in a row? Maybe that's the gag. I'm gonna go with CM.
Incorrect.
Oh. All right, John, you can
John.
steal.
Would you like to
Do
steal?
I get multiple choice for the steal?
Oh, you can't have the multiple choice because
No.
I didn't take it.
Okay, I'm actually trying to remember. So yes, I think it was before the tribe swap because it was like a weird, like odd number tribe swap, and it was like the non-chaotic Tara, Calvin, one. So was that it'd be like Jake, Ingrid, Jason Muscles. Let's go Ingrid.
Incorrect. It was Emily.
Was it?
Ah,
No, nobody even said Emily. I didn't say Emily. You didn't say poor old Emily, the actual, official winner of Melbourne tour. We all forgot about her under the Tour de France rules that we've applied on this show.
All right. What next season would you like? You've got Mystery Box, Backyard 4, One Well, or Canberra vs. the World.
okay. Let's go Melbourne Mystery Box.
It's a good choice. It's from Playing with Fire.
Luckily, because I would have known.
The immunity challenge ended with one player throwing balls at a target. Who was the thrower for Yellow Fuego, winning them the challenge?
Okay. So I think Max and Dale did the balance together. CK and Brady. So then who's left? There's Kate, Chloe, and Tash. Tash, because she went from like 0 to hero with the picks.
Correct. It was Tash.
You really should have gone that question. Tash did those balls because I made her do those balls, and she was amazing at it. And I was.
And I
It was
fussed
totally
over her when
coaching.
you did the recap. I thought it
Well,
was
I
fantastic.
not only see I enjoyed her success, but all the more so because I put her in that role. It was the coach. Coach has the moment too.
What subject do you want?
I'm not liking this quiz at all. I haven't prepared. I really haven't prepared. Give me Canberra versus the world.
Canberra
I
vs. the
suppose.
World. All right. At Tribal Council, Maddie was voted out 5-2. Who did Maddie and Squint vote for?
They were on a. This is the post swap. They voted for Sabrina.
Correct.
All right.
All right.
So it's one. There's one left. No, there's two left. Yeah, 3 left. Two
No,
left.
it's 2 left. 2 left.
Yeah, and I'm on 2, and John's on 4.
Correct.
So it's backyard 4 and backyard 5. I'm choosing between.
Yeah, and if you're
Yes.
wanting to phone a friend, I would go with One Well because Marc seems to have disappeared.
Yeah. Josh can
No,
also help
go
with
back
one.
up 4.
The
Sorry,
other one, yeah.
Sorry,
Uh,
No, Mark's there. Mark's there.
Oh, he's
Oh,
Either is there as the friend of friend.
So
So they're
like-
both there as options.
yeah. So I was there in person for backyard 5, but I've watched backyard 4. So I feel like backyard 4 will be safer.
All right, so we're bringing in Josh.
Are you wanting a phone a friend or you want to try it yourself?
Wait, he doesn't have.
Do I get less points if I phone a friend?
No,
No, you get the same.
you don't need to take his
Um,
answer.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, I'll give it a go, but I'll probably defer to Josh.
Okay.
Because Josh not only has watched the season, but like narrated it in detail to everyone.
Many times.
All right. During the immunity challenge, who from the Yellow Tribe sat out, giving them a chance to talk with Fee and Foo?
So I'm trying to think. The first one was I'm trying to think of the episodes. The first one was the Holly boot, then there was Ken. Oh, so it's the yeah, no. Josh, I'm gonna ask you. Wait, is this from Valentino one?
Pretty sure I know who it was. 'Cause I think I remember like a little thing of them sitting down, being like, "Hello." Pretty sure it was, the biggest orca of this season, wasn't it, Joe?
Do
Yeah.
you want to take the answer, John?
Listen to the Australian allergy expert.
So.
Incorrect.
Oh!
Whoa, okay. I have the chance for a steal here. So we got Fee owner and Foo on a bench, right? Is that what's going on? Is that the question, Dani?
During the immunity challenge, who from the yellow tribe sat out, giving them a chance to talk with Fee and Foo?
Now, I think that means there's still in 3 tribes, which means Josh's tribe, the red tribe, are still there, and he hasn't said anyone from, like, Fee is on the yellow tribe and Foo's on the blue tribe, so someone from red is sitting out, and it's either gonna be Josh or Rachel or Matt C or Michael. You'd never sit Matt C out of a challenge, like, fucking ever. It clearly wasn't Josh. Surely he'd remember that. Did they let just 3 guys compete in a challenge, though? That seems like a big call for, like, letting 3 guys compete in a challenge. Hang on. Why is he doing a sit out here? Now I'm confused. Why is there a sit out? Maybe there's 2 from yellow. Yeah, maybe that's what's going on here. Is there 2 from yellow? No, 2 from blue. 2 from blue. They haven't gone. Have blue gone to a tribal council? No, I don't think it's 2 from blue. Okay, this is where I'm getting confused. It's 2 from blue because there's 4 from each tribe in the challenge, and blue is sitting 2 people out, and one of them was Fee, and who else was on that tribe? There's Julie, but Julie sat out in the challenge before with the block thing, so it can't be her. I'm assuming they don't let the back-to-back thing. What other women?
I'm going to start a timer in a second.
Other women on that tribe, David B. Joe. Who's the other woman on that blue tribe?
He really does like the sound of his own voice, right?
I really can't figure this. If I get this right, I can win the whole game. Who's on this blue tribe? I really can't.
10, 9.
What are you doing?
8. Counting down. 7.
Julie. I'm saying Julie.
Kiara.
What's this happening?
So it'll be 2 from yellow?
No, Fee's on the blue tribe. But yeah.
Me and Phil are both on blue, according to the Quizmaster.
Fee and who? Fee and Foo, they're both on blue.
Yes.
All right. I can tie it up here, which means we go to a tiebreaker. So let's get the fun time.
How?
I'm on 2. John's on 4.
Sorry, Esco. Sorry. Yep, there's one more. Oh, we've got one more question. Yep. Okay, so we're doing one well, right?
Yeah. It's going to be easy.
The pink tribe was shown to be celebrating after their immunity win. Tarkan said that only one person didn't contribute to the challenge. Who was it?
I don't remember this. I feel like I can't remember what this challenge was. I feel like this is a joke question, and I wonder if he was talking about himself. Did he fuck up the challenge, maybe? They were celebrating. The pig was celebrating. One person was bad. What the fuck was this challenge? We got Tara, we got Kate, we got Coach, we got DC, and we got Takan, and I think that's it. I'm going to say Takan. I think I'm going to say he's talking about himself. He's too nice to talk about that with other people.
It was Tarkan.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Right.
Super.
Yeah.
Now, have you organised a spin wheel, or do you need my
I've got the
tiebreaker?
wheel. Okay, so I've got the wheel. Let me go like this, that way. This one. We're going to share the screen. So the tiebreaker is John. We're going to spin the wheel. You'll go first, and you need to tell Dani who do you, I assume you have the answers in front of you with this, Dani. Who you're gonna have to get it off the LRG.
Fuck.
Who the third boot is of that season?
And as in like Australian LRG seasons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus,
Give me a
apparently
second.
I need to find out. I need Adam's wiki.
All right. So, John, I'm going to spin it for you. Third boot of
Yep.
this season. It's not the third was eliminated in the third episode. It is the third boot. So obviously the third boot of the season we're currently doing would have been Hannah, not Byron.
And it's not counting like redemption people, right? It's just whoever was voted out third.
Yeah, we won't count the redemption. We'll just say who was
Yeah.
voted out third. Yeah. All right, you ready, Dani? You got the information? Spinning
I've
for
got
John.
Adam's wiki in, so
John, you are doing Backyard 2.
Oh gosh. This is my favorite season too, but I just like watched it so long ago.
yeah, I got it.
I have no idea. So I'm going to guess Matt. Generic survivor name.
Right. So in the first episode, Holly and Helen are voted out. So we go to the second episode where not Green. I think it's not Yellow. Do they merge then? Do they like merge? Not one episode. It's another one. Yeah, I think they merge after that. I think it's Jake. All right. Well, spin the wheel for myself now.
It was Casey.
This is Casey. Yeah, this is exciting television. Sorry. All right. I'm enjoying it. All right. Oh, Mel 2. That's easy. That's it's old Jason.
Jason M.
Right, John, spinning for you. You need to get this one. Right.
I feel like that was unfair, given that was like already given in your question.
We've got the same here for Canberra 3. Potentially.
Right.
Potentially.
So it would have been Maddie, right?
Hold on. No.
Oh shit. Wait, is it Sydney or Canberra 3?
Canberra 3.
Okay,
I
cool.
deleted it.
No, I was just wrong.
So how do you do this? Do I have to get this to win or whatever? I've got one right now.
Yeah, I think by default you.
Not normally.
Yeah, but you can assert your dominance, CK, like a true.
Hold
orca.
on, Jules is in my chat. Give me a second. I'm deferring to the quiz.
Well, I think about this. It's got Jay, you got Jay, and then Amy, and then I would have thought it was Maddie. Are you sure it's not Maddie? No, because Maddie's
So
in the
I mean,
third episode.
this is contentious, right? Because of redemption.
Yeah, no, it's voted out. So you got Jay, then you got
Well, yes, then it would be. So then, yes, then it would be Maddie.
yeah.
Okay,
John.
yeah.
It's not. So, all right.
All right, I'll spin next one for me, which is oh god, Brisbane.
Brisbane.
I think it's though. I think it's I think it's what's his name? Yeah, the hat. He was actually playing like an interesting game. What the fuck? What's his fucking name? Oh, it's Alex. Alex.
It was
Is that
Alex.
his name? What?
Yeah, it was Alex.
Yeah, Alex. Yeah.
Yep.
How many have I got these right? How many have you John got? Are we all getting them right? Yeah. I don't know.
You're even.
Okay. All right, John. Backyard 5.
Okay. Do we count like so that we were Tommy first, and then then they split, and then I think that's the green went back to back. So was it Kath?
Was Kath.
Okay. Let's do it
I didn't
again.
ask my tiebreaker. Bloody hell.
We're the best, John. Look at this. This is some quality shit.
I was not told I needed to know more seasons. Ooh.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
Canberra 1. Wow. Emily. Then I think the first one from the other. I think it's Aston.
It is Aston.
Yeah. John, spinning for you. Should be able to get this one.
Yes. It was the iconic Joseph with the phone in his pants. Contraband phone.
Yes, it was Joseph.
Right, David without the hat. Then Walker of the season, Matt, and then boy who was there for the beers, Sam.
It was Sam.
Who I also had beers with at the Orchid Drinks in backyard. He was there.
Let's come on. Let's...
I do
Let's
love that I
open up.
very clearly
We're over
remember
this.
Matt.
Oh, you almost got Melbourne there,
yes.
John.
It was the very lovely Ash.
Good with that?
Yes, it was Ash. Yes. So many others.
All right, Sydney. So we've got, it goes JT, then it goes from the other tribe, Amanda, and then is it back to you guys? Do we swap? TK.
It was TK.
All right, John.
I feel like I know 2 of these answers.
You don't know Melbourne 1, I bet. Backyard 4.
It was Valentina before she went on her like massive redemption streak.
Hold on.
With that, Dani?
Give me a second.
It was Holly, then Ken, then Valentina, I think. And then Ken and
Correct.
Valentina kept winning.
That's correct. Yep.
Yeah, all right. Melbourne 1, you won't get from the wiki, but the name's Lauren. You just have to take my word for it.
That's very impressive.
Yeah.
But, like from a 24-minute
It's Lauren. All right, John. Backyard 3 for a draw.
Oh, okay. So I feel like it's probably Liz. I just remember that her ally went home like just before, and then she didn't use her like massive plate of an idol. But then it sort of been, I'm just trying to think who the second, so it was Kiara, James, and Liz. Yeah, go Liz.
It was Liz.
All right, John, we're just too good for each other. Me and Stephen, it's a draw. I'm happy to call it that and call it the show. No one's ever pushed me that hard. Your knowledge is encyclopedic as mine. Well done. I will share the second immunity idol with you today.
I mean, I have a proper tiebreaker if you want it.
All right, fine. What is it? How's it done?
Why? You didn't promise me it was going to be this hard.
No, I think John did a good effort. You're gonna have to tie on that one. I'll give it to you another night.
All right, it's a tie. Well done, John. What a battle. Everyone left while we're doing that, I think, because it went on. But it was an incredible battle of survivor knowledge. Well done to you. Thanks for coming on, and congratulations on ourselves on our great job of casting this season. Go and watch the show. It's actually really great.
Yeah, I will go binge now.
Thanks, John. Thank you, Dani. All right, welcoming back in the Orcas so that we can determine what a battle that was, eh? Let's now determine the Brommy for the week. First thoughts, final thoughts. What are you guys thinking? Who was the most using the most strong arming tactics? Who was the most loud and proud? Who had the highest propensity for narcissism in this particular episode?
Maybe Dani? I do feel like Shelley deserves a shout out as well. I think Shelley stepped out of the shadows a little bit and showed she's really thinking about the game a lot, but she's not like a chaotic, aggressive player. She's very cool-headed. So maybe Dani?
Yeah, I to me, no one else is stepping up to that level of narcissism. I don't know, control. It's Dani for me.
I think I don't think there's a lot of options. I think maybe Ash's confessionals are bringing some Orca energy, but I think that Dani sealed the deal when she needed some extra screen time by throwing a stick at Air for no reason. I felt that was some strong Orca energy and attention-seeking behavior that we love to see from our Orcas. So for 3 weeks in, we've had Nat, then Hannah, and now Dani. I personally am adoring the fact that we have 3 nominees for the first 3 weeks, and they're all women. We're loving it. You know, Loz, as an Orca female, Orca woman representative, I'm sure you're very proud to see the women killing it this season.
And I said they would right from the start. I said that this is exactly how it would go.
Well, I like you're taking your flowers now. That's very awkward in itself. So we watch the show. It will be on Sunday, and we'll be back next Wednesday with all the coverage, an interview with the boot, and of course another TWIOLSH. Can someone take me on to that level? I think for the fans' sake, I hope not, because it went on a long time.
Really long. Really
but it was amazing, wasn't it, though? Anyway, until then, we shall do as we always do. We shall dance. Make sure like and subscribe. Give us the ticks. Give us the love. We need it, because we'll be seeing you in a week.